Welcome to Thoughtfully Us, the space where three therapists of color sit down to talk about mental health, real life, and the human side of healing. We're colleagues, friends, and licensed therapists. And so in this podcast, we're pulling back the curtain on not just therapy, but on being people of color in this field and on the parts of life we don't always get to process in the therapy room. So whether you're in therapy, thinking about it, or just trying to make sense of your own healing journey, we're so glad you're here. A quick disclaimer is that this podcast is for informational purposes only. It is not a substitute for therapy, medical advice, or diagnosis. Listening to this podcast does not create a therapeutic relationship with any of the hosts. Tease up for Thoughtfully Us.
Hey peeps.
Hey. One day we'll make an intro song that we sing.
No,
Or a dance, something like that.
absolutely nobody asked us for that, but
Nelly shot me down so fast.
Yeah.
the singers, because anybody who's been personally victimized by Morgan and Maya breaking out into song,
Yes.
raise your hand. We can't see you, but we're there with you.
Right. Not Maya raising her hand too.
I have all my hands up. I mean, I should say victimized because it is a beautiful thing. And doesn't matter if you're in a conversation or anything.
Mm-hmm.
If they start singing, the world is gone to them.
That's a rap if we're singing. Sometimes I sing words.
What else would you sing?
No, like if I'm speaking
Oh,
and I'll be talking to him, but then I'll be like, like kind of.
people probably left this episode already.
I know. Like, delete, cancel.
Hi,
unsubscribe.
everyone.
Hey.
Today, we are talking about things that we thought were normal until we were either engaging in therapy or introduced to in the therapy world.
Right.
Yes. Which we feel like could relate to listeners if they've had an aha moment or if a therapist has connected any dots for them of like, oh, my mom did this, I do this too, or family patterns or just thinking patterns too.
Yeah.
Perfect. Who wants to take the mic away?
Well, I was thinking, and I'm not sure I knew how to like formulate my thoughts around this, but I think a big one that comes up is, I guess an umbrella of what comes up is like people pleasing behaviors of like, because then I do notice it come up a lot in like dynamics of like, oh, this person's mad at me, or I think they're mad at me, or I'm bending over backwards for X amount of people, but I feel like I never take breaks for myself, like those type of things.
Yeah.
But I don't know really how to like name that, like what it is, but I just feel like it's under the umbrella of people pleasing and just things you're thinking are normal because you're like, oh, I always was that way, or I always took care of, my sister, whatever. Later you're like, but who took care of you? Like those type of little moments where you're like, yeah. Or like what rest is. I know we've talked about rest and self-care many times, and we will forever, but that's another one where I'm like, it's not normal that your self-care is you're booked from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and working nonstop. So
Exactly. Yeah. That's a good one.
That is a good one.
yeah.
Ooh. I feel like in my family, there was always like this push. So positivity is a huge, huge value of my family of origin. However, toxic positivity is a real thing. And sometimes I feel like the positivity becomes a little bit dismissive of usually ourselves. Like, I don't think we did this to each other, but like, I would always be like, I'm struggling with this, but why can I like, because blah, 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 blah. And I saw it a lot. A lot with postpartum.
Oh, I was like, huh?
Like, well, because I said I saw it, but I guess I still see it.
Still active, yeah.
Yes. And for my therapist listening, She's probably not, but she'd be like, yes, see, present. uh, I like will do a lot of guilt about like I don't get to struggle postpartum, or I don't get to think this is hard because I like had such a hard time conceiving and went to fertility treatment and everything, that like I should be grateful for what I have, because a lot of people go through everything I went through and more, and much, much, much more, and don't like conceive. And so like I do a lot of I'm feeling this way, but I'm so grateful to have her, and I am so happy that I'm a mom, and I feel so like, and it's like, well, wait, also like you don't have to do all the buts. Like you can just first feel your feelings without. So that was also something I saw like as a strength of my family, and then later was like, that is a strength in some settings and also can be harmful in others.
Yes, an area of growth. We don't use the term weaknesses here.
No.
But I think a lot of things can be both, and that makes a lot of sense. Both of your, I guess, concepts and ideas you brought to the table, like both things can be true. Like you can care about other people and care about like doing well, but at what cost? And same with positivity. At what point does it become toxic? Or like for me, I was gonna say anxiety, which is normal, biological, and it's made to warn us.
Yeah.
But when it becomes more unhelpful, and helpful is when it's like, okay, that's an issue. And so I think, so in 1995, 1995, baby. And so anxiety was definitely around, but not to the same extent that it is now in terms of the way we understand it and treat it and see the signs and symptoms. And so I think I remember, and I think our mom, Nehemiah's mom, can probably relate and remember these days when I would just tell her, like, when I have to talk in front of people, like my voice, like my body shuts down. And like I would just, like, my voice would just go away and I couldn't talk. And I would like shake and things like that. And I was like trying to explain that to her. And she didn't really, she was like, oh, wow, like shocked and sad that that was happening. But we didn't know what it was. So I think that was something that became more normalized to me in grad school, but also in the field, like seeing that anxiety. There's a textbook, DSM-5, like layout of what it looks like in the body, you experience, how long you experience it for, things like that. But I think it looks so different and shows up so differently in people that there's still a lot of work to be done in terms of how like we go about it. But that's something I was like, is it just me? Like, does this happen to anyone else? Things of that nature. So that's something that came to mind when you brought that up.
What did it feel like for all of you, I guess, to explain that in therapy or wherever, it is that you had the aha moment? And like, what do you feel like it felt like for you to have that? Like, what came up for you, what you sat with, or like how you just felt after being seen or heard or validated?
I can relate to that right now, actually. That like I had an aha moment recently, because another thing that happens a lot that I didn't realize that I do until therapy made me realize was like comparison, but in the way of minimizing, like constantly being like, okay, well, that person had it worse, so I don't get to feel this way. When in reality, there's always going to be like the worst. So it's not a healthy way to move about life. But I just had this really freak thing happen to me. Listeners, I be careful with tapping a vase at the wrong spot, because I had a perfectly fine glass vase that was like thick glass, and I barely tapped it on the countertop, and I just hit like the perfect spot, and a chunk of the bottom of the glass just cleanly like sliced off and landed in my foot. And I had to go to the ER.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I had to go to the ER and I had to get stitches, and it was I'm kind of still dealing with this. So
Mhm.
crazy, very random. Like the chance of this happening was very
So
small.
random, so crazy.
So crazy. Like texted our group chat and we were like, wait, what? I was like,
Yeah.
okay.
What in the world?
Yes. But when this happened, a family member of mine like immediately compared this to something else that happened to a different family member of mine, and was like, oh, like, and was like, don't worry, like this isn't nearly as bad as that.
Mhm.
Oh, that's not what you want to hear in that moment. Or
Yeah.
yeah, I'm like, I don't think it was.
No,
Mm-mm.
yeah.
What anyone would want to hear.
And in the moment, like it stung, it felt weird, it felt uncomfortable, but like
Yeah.
I pushed that away so quick and was like, and did what I described just now. The butt, I was like, no, like they're just trying to make me feel better, that it's not that big of
Right.
a deal, like that I'll be okay, like that it's all fine. Like they're trying, and that is what they were trying to do, and it still hurt and like didn't feel good,
Right.
and wasn't like something that I needed to hear or wanted to hear.
Mm-hmm.
So
How did you like navigate that then?
well, in the moment I was like, yeah, of course, but like I actually recognized that it felt like it wasn't landing right, and I was in the ER when it was said, so kind of like still adrenaline going.
Yeah.
And but I was like still thinking about it the next day. And
Wow.
I circled back to it, and I called that person.
I'm
And I was like, first of all, this is incorrect, because what they compared it to was like so much better. Like the thing they compared it to like wasn't nearly as bad, like needed a band-aid and like was bleeding a lot, but like didn't need to go to the ER and get stitches. So I was like, first of all, factually, you're wrong. Second of all, even if it wasn't, like that wasn't helpful to hear about. And like
right.
hearing them be like, no, I was like trying to make you feel better, that like because you were like nervous, to that everything was going to be okay. Like
Mhm.
that kind of helped me quiet the like there was a part that kept telling me that like, no, this is just what they were trying to do. But there
Right.
was another part that was like, but what if they weren't? Right.
Right.
And so it helped quiet that other part down. But it also like gave voice to the part of me that was like, I understand that that's what you were trying to do, and it still didn't feel good.
Yeah.
So
Both
in
things.
that moment, that was a big aha moment for me, because I was like, this is where it comes from. This is where that voice in my head that's always like, but it's not as bad as this. It's not like, don't worry, it's not this. I was like, oh my gosh, that's this person talking to me like this. That's where this comes from. And it was a big aha moment for me that felt really like validating and, dare I say, freeing. I was like,
Okay.
I get it. So
Aw.
we made it.
Sorry that happened to you.
Mm-hmm.
Stitches and all. Whew, goodness. But I'm glad that you. What?
We made it.
Oh yeah, we made it. But I'm glad that you did something for yourself in a way where you kind of like checked something, like checked it, and we're like, no, you know what? I am going to bring this up again because it's still on my
Clock it.
Clock it, Clark it.
I was standing on business.
Yes.
Ooh.
Well, that is true, because I was wondering because sometimes you do have that validation moment, but it's like, how do you move forward in the real world? And you had a good example of like, oh, here is where it kind of came up. And instead of explaining your feelings away, you were like, let me speak my truth.
Yeah.
In
like
that.
I feel like I honored that part of myself that was upset by it, because I could explain it away. Like I knew that this person was saying that to make me feel better. And I also knew it didn't feel good to hear it.
Right.
So I let that part that was hurt say that, and say like, that didn't feel great.
Exactly. And I'm proud of you.
Ah, thank you.
He's up. So is my dog Mason. You guys cool. Say hi.
That's a jump scare.
If you're not
Really
watching
sad.
the YouTube, we'll post a picture of him online. But the blue-eyed bandit is here. He's proud of you too,
Thank you.
Nelly.
And we are going to introduce all three of the
Yes.
Possibly Us dogs
Eventually.
Insta, because it's only fitting given that you will probably hear all three of them.
Yeah. Whining and such.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, what else do we feel like made sense once we were exposed to the normalization or the evidence
Mhm.
or the therapy mental health world of it?
Like, it's not even just learning it in therapy. Sometimes it's just having someone else point it out to you,
Mhm.
Yeah.
things happening. And that's what like therapy can be, right? Like noticing a pattern, and like kind of pulling that out. But Maya once pointed out to me that, do you know what I'm gonna say?
I don't know.
Don't take guesses though, because don't
I
out.
won't. I guess. I don't know, but
Maya once had an intervention for me that a casual one about me accepting help.
Ooh.
And when I would like host people, I refused to let anybody clean up and like would be like, no. And Maya would like literally sneak away to try and help me.
something could be like spilling on the ground, and she's like, "No."
What?
But I was like, why can't I just use my napkin right
Yeah.
here? Like, don't worry.
Yeah.
And I never noticed, like, once she pointed it out to me, I realized how much stress that caused me
Mm.
to operate that way.
Mm-hmm.
I still do it, but now I let Maya help.
Okay, growth.
That's
Yeah.
growth. It is. I love it.
A few people that I do like that I do let help.
Yeah.
Probably like 5. And you all know who you are.
Yeah. Which is fair, and I think that's like
Hmm.
doesn't mean you have to let your guard down for everyone, but just
Right.
moments where it's like this could be really stressful, or I could be a little stressed and have help.
Yeah, definitely. My friends, Kate and Britt, like put it in a good perspective one time of like that it brings them joy to help
Mm.
me and like to,
Mhm.
and I feel like they really, I was like, didn't believe them, and then they just kept, and then I could like see that it
Yeah.
was, and I was like,
People
oh,
like to do like the acts of service, but in that way of like friendship.
Mhm.
Like, let's take
Yeah.
this off your plate, or we'll just, without you saying anything, just do it and trust.
Yes,
Yeah. It's okay.
love that.
It is okay. But yeah, the only other thing I was thinking of was like ADHD. I will say TikTok when it first came around. Maybe even Vine. Remember Vine? Ooh.
Yes,
It's
so
fine.
much potential.
No, Vine, no, TikTok. I'm sure there's other things, and I'm behind the times. I just got a TikTok. Yeah, last month. Anyway, so I think they as in people who post on there and all the things, like the way they talk about certain mental health issues, like ADHD, attention deficit hyperactive disorder. I'm gonna be canceled, but I literally have my book to find the exact name of it, but I'm pretty sure I'm correct. Inattentive type or hyperactive type or combined type. ADHD was diagnosed the way it was observed, like when we were growing up in school, probably before us and even after us. It like people were looking for specific behaviors, and it really was overdiagnosed in certain populations of people and underdiagnosed in certain populations of people. So I think that is something that like has come to my attention of like just because someone's not like rowdy in class, not paying attention, fidgeting in their seat, like these are just examples. Doesn't automatically mean they have ADHD, but also doesn't mean that they don't have it. But also the person sitting next to them who's quiet, doing their work, or it looks like they're doing their work, and is quiet and gets good grades could also have ADHD, you know? So I think presentation of symptoms is something that really made more sense once we had to learn how to diagnose and do treatment planning and things like that.
Yeah. Like, I feel like insurance really screwed up a lot, everything.
Oh,
But
yeah.
sometimes, like, diagnosing, because
Yeah.
it's not as simple as like everybody just fitting into a box.
Yeah.
And insurance requires that in order for people to get services covered, they have to have a diagnosis, and that makes things really complicated because
Mhm.
sometimes people are a mixture, it depends. But like you said, Morgan, just because someone doesn't fit into like a specific box, maybe we don't know that box well enough. Maybe there's more to understand
Right.
it. Like, and as we see as time goes on, like the DSM changes and things
Mhm.
are constantly changing. So it's like trying to fit someone into, it's like trying to fit a square into a triangle.
Truthfully, I've been going through a lot of personal things, so my mind is just a little bit on that. So I was trying to think for this topic in particular, and I really have not yet processed a lot of past things because everything so presently has been so intense. So I apologize, but I think therapy is very helpful, and I feel like there could be a
Really.
aha moment for me soon. I just don't know what that will be and when, but I'm
Yeah.
sure I can share
As
later.
an outsider supporting currently things going on, you've had a lot of aha moments. I'm sure they're just hard to see right now.
Yeah.
But there have been a lot of moments of like, whoa. So, but Maya's keeping it raw and real today. Thank you for
Mhm.
that.
You're
We need
welcome.
that. And me and Nelly were doing I think it's clock it, like the T, the
What
little
is
gesture
this?
that Gen Z does.
People who
Mhm.
do this, or actually, I will also post it on Instagram.
Yeah.
What is this?
They did it in Love Island. Gen Z does it, and so I do it. Even though I'm not part of Gen
Even though you're not Gen Z,
and it's probably cringe that I say
your
that. Gen Z do
clients
the
are probably
thing.
like, don't do that.
But
Yeah.
gotta be fun and relevant. But yeah, no, I agree with everything that's been shared and appreciate all of your honesty and openness and
Mhm.
vulnerability. Right. So this or that. Last time we did lattes. This week will be the beach or the lake. So I had the pleasure of going to the beach one weekend not too long ago, and then going to a lake a weekend not too long ago. And I love both. And so I wanted to know for you two, which one would you prefer and why?
Maya
So,
started off.
I love the lake. I think it's so fun. I also just really like when places have a pool. Like I tell everyone, like I could swim every day if I could. But
The Little
I do,
Mermaid.
yeah, I'm a little mermaid. Never grew up.
Mhm.
And I think the beach though is like just feels calm and
Hmm.
very peaceful.
I agree. I'm Team Beach because you don't even have to do anything. Like, I feel like a lake, you have to go in the water for it to be fun or like do something like, but the beach, well, I love being
Mhm.
in the ocean all the time. Not that much in Maryland because the waves are rough out here, but on the Jersey Shore, which the Jersey Shore is a beautiful place, people. It's not like the show Jersey Shore. That's
Ooh.
one
I was gonna
spot.
say you should clarify. Yeah.
I should
Yeah.
have to clarify. And people who go who aren't from Jersey will like tell me and my husband when we do say we're from Jersey, they're like, "Wait, you guys have the cutest small towns and beaches and like nobody knows." I'm like, "Thank you. Thank you. Thank you." So, the Jersey Shore, I will stay in that water all day.
Yeah.
Me and my sister-in-law stay floating in there. It's our
Mm.
thing. And yes, so beach, like I feel like you can be in the water and it could be fun, but you could also just be like laying listening to the waves and it's amazing.
Yeah.
So and or even like smelling, just like being in the presence of the beach is really nice. Plus, I really like reading psychological thrillers, and I've read too many.
Yeah, I was like,
And they're like all at the lake. I feel like there's so many that are
oh,
involved, and
yeah,
now I'm low-key like, let me stay away.
That's fair.
You're not wrong. It's a good setting for a little mystery, you know.
Yeah,
But it's
it
fiction,
is.
so I shouldn't judge.
Well, yeah, that's true. Okay, well, I guess beach won. Which
What about you, Morgs?
too. I also think the beach. I love water though, so whenever I'm near water, I'm happy.
Fair.
But the beach usually has good ice cream. Can't say that much about the lake, but you know, maybe
Okay.
I haven't been to that place yet.
True. Yeah, that's true. Okay, so lake, not sure which one. Sponsor us to go on a trip,
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
and then we can experience and see.
and we'll bring our brewmates with us,
Yes.
Yes.
like
Oh,
we did the beach.
Yeah.
like we did the beach.
Yes, but also shout out to all of the people who are helping others and
Mm.
doing the good deeds.
Mhm.
The hurricane mess and the storms and all along the coastlines and all and up and down the strip of this side of the country. So we see you and recognize you and know.
Mm-hmm.
Can't even imagine what that's been like, but we do love our Delaware and New Jersey and Maryland beaches.
Yes,
Yes.
we do. Oh, yeah, that's true. The beaches I was talking about are Delaware, not Maryland.
Yeah, I was like, ooh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Are Marylanders going to be mad?
right.
Right.
That's tea.
Dang.
Yeah.
Well, yes, we're gonna do our own. Well, instead of clock it like the young people, we're gonna do the tea for tea.
Yeah.
Tea's up. Spill the tea. So thanks for doing my this or that. This or
Of course.
that.
And Morgan is creating, to the listeners who
I
aren't
know, who don't get to see this
But they
lovely
can hear me clapping.
girl.
No, you can't even hear the clap. So I just see the clap, and it's interesting. So Morgan is putting on a show for
And
her this or that.
intro
It is.
for the segment.
But thank
Yes.
you. We appreciate it.
You're welcome. Let us know what you would like us to answer for this or that.
Yeah.
Well, for me to ask Nelly and Maya. I think it's fun because they don't know what to expect from me.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Every day is like a wild card with Morgan.
yes.
She doesn't tell us a this or that beforehand.
I
She
know.
just tells us she's doing a this or that, but we have no idea. So
Exactly.
send the ones then that you want to Morgan. And for the people who on our Ask Us Anything, we responded on our stories,
Mm-hmm.
but we had a lot of messages about people who were like, yes, talk more about this. I want to hear about that. We have them all, and we are going to get to all of it. So if what you asked to talk about was not talked about today, don't worry.
Yes.
It's coming
Don't
up.
fret.
Yes.
It will be there.
All right. Well, thanks everyone. We'll see y'all and you'll hear us again for our next episode. All right. Tease up.
Tease up.
Thanks so much for joining us for today's conversation. We hope you felt seen, supported, and maybe even laughed a little along the way. If you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe to the podcast so you never miss a new one. And we'd love it if you left us a rating or review. It really helps more people find us. You can also connect with us on Instagram at thoughtfully_us and let us know what you want to hear about next. And remember, while we're therapists, this podcast is not a substitute for therapy. If you're struggling, please reach out for support from a mental health professional in your area. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.